I put a picture of him on the website, and I said, Jose Baez is coming to speak, and like 6 people called me right away, and they're like, I need him for something. So immediately shot him like 5 to 6 referrals right off the bat, which is great. I love doing that. That's amazing, and I think it's a testament of what you've done, who you are, and where you are right now, because there are a million attorneys out there I could have posted a photo of, and it would have been by the wayside, right? But the fact that people see your photo, they know who you are, they know what you've done, they know the success that you've put together, and so they say, that's the guy I want to have on my side right now for the situation that I happen to be in.
Well, all of that comes from a lot of hard work and working on not only the law side, but the business side as well, making sure people recognize my brand. And it's especially hard to have a national brand that's Hispanic.
Right.
And we don't necessarily see that very much here in Miami because everybody's Hispanic.
Everybody's Hispanic. Even Robert Rubenstein's Hispanic.
Yeah, I guess so, right?
So I think there's a lot that's to be said about that, because I don't, if I know anything about your story, you weren't born with a silver spoon in your mouth. You don't come from a wealthy family. You didn't have wealthy families just running to you the moment you got your license. You worked hard for it. And you said something very important, because, we're going to have a lot of real estate professionals at the Real Talk Conference. We're going to have a lot of business professionals at the Real Talk Conference. And I think probably the most important thing that you said in here is it took a lot of hard work focusing on not only the law side of it, but the business side of it, because law is a trade, right? At the end of the day, you went to school and you earned a trade, right? It's like being a carpenter, right, or a general contractor or whatever. You get a license and you learn a trade, but it doesn't mean you're the best general contractor on the planet. Let's face it, we live in Miami, we know that, right? So it's about the work that you put into it, the business platform that you put together, the marketing that goes behind it, the brand that you develop, right? And then now all of that's great, and then it's also the proof in the pudding. Do you do a good job?
Well, I'm a big believer that there are 3 keys to success. And one is you have to have the desire not to suck.
Right.
Okay.
The desire not to fail, right?
Yeah, right. And a lot of people have that. Okay. So then you go to the next step, which is you have to be willing to put the work in. And if you're willing to put the work and maybe just a little bit extra, that really does carry you a significant weight. But I know I'm not telling you anything you haven't heard already. But the third thing that I don't think it's spoken about enough is having the patience to see it through. A lot of people have the dream, they start something, they don't finish it.
Then they're looking for instant gratification.
Correct. And you really, it's not an overnight success.
Right.
And even though I had success fairly early on in my career, it really wasn't early on in my career. There were a lot of struggles to get to the point where I needed to be able to put myself in a position to be successful. So it's one of those things that really patience, at a certain level of performing, it really does. It's a key component. It's a key element.
And not only that, there's the pre-prep, which is 4 years of college, 2 years of law school, studying for the bar, passing the bar, then actually getting hired somewhere, so forth and so on. All of that pre-prep that takes 8 years on maybe a minimum or average to even just get the ball rolling.
Well, I'll tell you, my story is one of the road less traveled. A lot of people don't know, but some people do, that I dropped out of high school in the 9th grade.
Oh, wow.
So I took the GED route. I stumbled many, many times in life. I joined the Navy when I was 17.
Hoorah.
And I basically, it was one of those things that I didn't see the light first time around, and maybe not the second or third or fourth. And even when I accomplished certain things, I was knocked back down. And life throws you all kinds of curves. And I can tell you, once I got my license to be a lawyer, actually getting my license was a mission in and of itself. I was denied admission to the Florida bar the first time I applied because of financial irresponsibility. and I had to wait 8 years before I could reapply. So
wow.
yeah, I mean it was.
So my 8-year average is really like a
No.
16-year.
It's beyond that. I mean it was, like I said, it was the road less traveled. And one of the things that I learned was having that patience. I held on to my dream, knowing it was going to be difficult to accomplish, knowing it wasn't going to come tomorrow, or maybe next month, or maybe next year,
right,
or the year after that. It was something that and seeing all my classmates from law school go on and have successful careers, and not being envious of their success. But one thing's for certain: once I got my shot, once coach put me in,
yeah,
I skyrocketed past all of them. But I didn't know that was going to happen in my career. I didn't know that.
But you had the patience to wait. You did what you had to do. You pursued your dream, and then once you were in the door, you didn't mess around. Like
No.
you said, okay, I'm here. Now it's time to play ball, right? Like like you said, when the coach put you in, you didn't foul up. Like you hit a home run, you was in.
Yeah, I mean, my biggest one of my first big case came 3 years after being admitted into the bar, and I caught a lot of flack for that. I caught a lot of grief because many people thought I didn't know what I was doing, that I was too new of a lawyer, and I knew my past struggles. They didn't.
Yeah.
I knew how much heart I had.
Everyone
They
is
didn't.
quick to talk about you when you're succeeding.
Oh, everyone's quick to talk about you without knowing who you are.
Yeah.
And without knowing what's inside of
Right.
you, and I think that's a big thing that hopefully people who go to this conference will be able to say to themselves, okay, what do I have inside of me,
And what do I have to offer?
and
Right.
how willing am I? How much do I believe in it to make it all happen?
So